Hey guys, I'm on a little bit early. I've got somewhere to be tonight at 7:30, so I'm gonna be busy doing that. I'm probably gonna need to be done. I gotta get ready and everything to be ready by 7. So I just wanted to sign on because it's Sunday. Sorry I missed last Sunday. I just wasn't doing well. I had gotten back from Mexico and wasn't, I don't know, something was going on with my gastrointestinal system. So let me see, I'm looking for my link. My link! Let's see. Control B. I'm good, Vicky. How are you? Hey, Heidi. How are you? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Scratching my ear. I only have 2 viewers, Vicky and Heidi. What's going on, you guys? How have you been? The mediumship's going. I've been still doing classes and stuff like that. I haven't really been practicing it much. I've been kind of, I don't know, just kind of, it's not that I don't want to do it. I really enjoy it. I've just been in this period of kind of just taking it easy, like not putting too much pressure on myself to practice, if that makes any sense. I've been reading cards a lot, and that's been kind of nice. And so I haven't really, I need to get back to it. We do still have our classes once a month, and there's different groups I've been involved in that I need to, like different circles that I haven't been attending. I've been bad. Um, so, but like the few times that like lately that I've done like exercises in class or whatever, it's been good. Like it feels good. I forget. It's funny. It's like it's the thing that I want to do, and it makes me feel good, but I forget to do it in some weird way. Like I get in my own way, or I don't know. It's kind of strange. One second, someone's texting me. Sorry. So yeah, so I've been kind of just being in a more relaxed state with it, not trying to rush it, if that makes sense. Kind of being lazy. I just ate a fat piece of cake. And that's it. That's what's going on with the mediumship. And I have this stray hair. Today's been Sunday. I cleaned the floors today. I ordered groceries to have them delivered in, which was nice. And then I cleaned the floors and did laundry, mowed the lawn, did everything that I need to do for the week so that I'm ready for the week to come. So it's been rather like, I guess, fruitful or I don't know, accomplished day. Let's say that. So now I'm doing this because I have something that I have to do at 7:30 tonight. My friend's probably gonna pick me up at about 7, and so I'm gonna get in the shower and everything by 6. Blah blah blah. Thank you, Heidi. Um, uh, can cake really go bad? I don't know. I hope not. This cake sat on my counter for the last 2 days and I ate it. It was covered though. It was like in a plastic container. I bought it from a restaurant. My neighbors took me out not yesterday, but the day before. Is that right? Yeah, we went to this place called Mark's Outing. Yeah, I always want to call it John's Landing, and that's not the name of it. And my neighbor's name is John, and he took me to it. It's a hamburger store in San Antonio. The hamburgers are really, really good. And so me and him and his wife, we all went out there. Well, we went out yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before, and we were running errands, and they were helping me get some stuff done and like medicine for the dogs and things like that. And then we came back and got his wife, and then we all went out to like a late lunch, early dinner, and it was good. But I bought 2 slices of what they called, excuse me, nasty cake is what it was called. That's what it was literally called, nasty cake. I don't know why, but of course, you know me, I got to try the nasty cake. I'm like, why not? So I asked the girl behind the counter. I said, excuse me. I said, is the cake good? You know, and it's like a square about, I don't know, like a square of cake with like frosting. It looks like something you buy in a box at like the grocery store, make it home, and then give to your kid for their birthday. It looks like straight up birthday cake. There was 3 flavors: white, which obviously was like vanilla; pink, which was strawberry; and chocolate. And so I'm not a huge fan of chocolate for some reason. I like chocolate, like candy bars and stuff, but I'm not a huge fan of chocolate like cake or ice cream. Does not turn me on or excite me at all. I don't know why. The chocolate's just not my go-to flavor when it comes to ice cream. I will totally get down with like a Kit Kat bar, a Snickers, a Reese's. Those things are all super good, but I'm just not a huge fan of chocolate ice cream or chocolate dessert in some weird way. I don't know why. Anyways, so I asked the girl and she said, well, my favorite is the strawberry. And I love vanilla. Like I'm a vanilla guy. Like I love vanilla ice cream. So I bought 1 piece of strawberry and one, because the girl said the strawberry was her favorite. And I bought 1 piece of the white cake because that's my favorite, or what I would want to be my favorite. And I ate this, I brought them home. I didn't eat them out there because the burgers are so good. You don't need dessert afterwards. But I brought them home for like a late night snack. And then I ate the first piece of cake that night, that strawberry. I tried that first. I'm also a portion eater, like in the sense that I'll save my favorite thing or what I think is going to be my favorite thing for the very last. It's a weird thing I've done since I was a little kid. Like whenever there was corn on the plate, I would always eat the corn last. Such a freak. I just do that. Like it's a thing where I always save. I'm less like about that now, but I still do it as an adult. I'm 48 years old and I still do that shit. But so I saved the white piece of cake. And then for some reason I didn't get to it yesterday. I kept like seeing it and I was like, oh yeah, the cake. And then today I ate it to really clean up, really, just to tidy up the kitchen. It was sitting on the counter in the kitchen. So I hope it doesn't go bad. But that's me and my cake story. So stupid. But yeah, so it was good though. And then the strawberry was good, but it was not my thing. I really like the white cake, and it being 2 days old and it still tasted really good. It was good. And I don't know why they call it nasty cake. Like I'm not sure what makes it nasty, or I don't know if it's nasty in a good way. It probably is, but I'm not sure why they titled it nasty cake. But I was like, I've got to try it. I am very brave. Thank you, Vicky. Well, like cake sits out on the counter, like, doesn't it? No wonder why I probably have GI issues. I probably shouldn't be eating 2-day-old cake. I mean, I don't know how old the cake was in the restaurant. It was maybe there for a day or two prior to me buying it. Maybe I shouldn't think about it too much. Who knows? I might end up with diarrhea tonight and not be able to go out with my friend. Oh, shit. No pun intended. That says a lot. I smell a great Yelp review. Totally. Heidi's like, can I walk the dog and pop an edible at the same time? That'd be amazing. The dog's like, why are we going this way? The dog's like, this is weird. Why are we walking so slow? Yeah, so that's it. That's all I did today. Did a bunch of stuff. And then that's it, really. Just kind I think we're going to get rain tonight. I see dark clouds forming. It's hot though, so it doesn't really matter if we get rain because it's like hot rain. But oh, one of my ferns is growing in the front yard. I planted some fern roots that I got off of Amazon, like, I don't know, a couple months ago. And I put them in there. I'm not a green thumb person. I was just trying to grow some ferns in my front courtyard of the house. And I wanted to get ferns that the dogs would be. I don't want the dogs eating them necessarily. The dogs tend to eat plants. They like to eat the plants like when they're fucking around. You know, when I'm not paying attention to them, they'll start chewing on leaves off of plants. And so I got like pet friendly ferns because there are some that are poisonous. But I put them in the ground and I was watering them for a while and nothing happened. I thought, oh, they must be dead. Like maybe I didn't do it right or whatever. And then I haven't watered them for a while. And then pop, like a fern leaf frond came out, a little tiny one. It's a few inches long. So I'm super excited. So I watered it yesterday. I hope I don't overwater it. Because ferns like sort of tropical weather, I think. Just they need some shade. So I'm hoping that the other ones might pop too, because I think I had like 5 different root systems, but I didn't know they were still in some soil, so I just put them in there. I didn't know which direction. I mean, they could be growing downward into the ground. Who the hell knows? But one did pop out, so I'm happy about that. That's another exciting thing that's happened for me, is that one of my little ferns has come to life. So I'm excited about that. And that's pretty much it. Work has been good. I've been doing work every day. Mexico finally sold. That's why I went down to Mexico last week. And that was good. I'm glad that that's done. I was able to sign a power of attorney for the second house. So that's going to go hopefully in September. They're going to close that sale and that will be closed up. So the Mexico chapter will be closed soon, barring that, nothing unforeseen happens. And then I'm going to hopefully get a car soon. I need to get a car. I've been without a car for months since the accident. So that's the next thing, the next plan. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. So that's it, really. It's kind of my life in a nutshell. What's going on with you guys? Anything good? Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't sure if maybe I don't know. Like, I'm surprised the one lived. Like, I haven't seen the other ones. I planted, I want to say, like at least 5 of them. But I sort of spaced them and did it what the direction said, like 2 to 3 inches into the ground. But they were just like these little, like sort of very thin kind of root systems. I don't know which direction. So I just sort of laid them in the dirt and then covered them over, and then I watered them. And one of them actually took. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe another one pops up. I'm hoping one will. I watered the whole area again just to kind of see, because I feel like they'll do well where I put them because it's right in front of the house. Underneath an awning, so they should get some sun, but not too much that they'll get like burnt. But they'll have the heat of the day, So I want the really big, tall, crazy jungle ferns growing in front of the house, like Jurassic Park. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see. I got a new job at a metaphysical bookstore, full time, and it's so busy. That's awesome. Where are you, Heidi? I can't remember what city. Yeah, you can. Do you need, here's the link. Did you want a charming or a card reading, Heidi? Oh, Santa Barbara. That's beautiful. Very cool. I bet you that's a cool community of people down there if they're doing metaphysical stuff. Yes, Heidi, that is correct. Cool, I got it. Thank you, Heidi. All right, let me set up the charm and the camera. Hold on one second. I got medicine for my dog. She's like night and day when they put her on these pain meds. She does not move around at all lately. And I got her these the pain meds that they'd given her about, I don't know, a month or two ago. And she's back to like, you know, scooting forward really quickly, like trying to be tough with me. I'm so happy. It's just I think her arthritis is so bad in her back legs that she just doesn't want to move. So when I give her the pain meds, she doesn't feel the pain. So she's like kind of back to being a little bit sassy, which is nice. It's good. Okay. Yes, Vicky, you know, you get a free charming. You don't have to send me money for a charming. I noticed you just sent me a payment. You know, you get one free charming a month. You're part of the Patreon group. You know that, right? All right, Heidi, what subject do you want me to charm on? 1111, totally make a wish. Let me change cameras. There we go. I gotta adjust everybody. Say general and see what comes up. Okay. Oh, Jesus. A bunch of stuff just went flying out. This says you betcha. So I'm gonna, and this says, what does it say? This is so rubbed off I can't even read it. What does that say? Oh my God. Let me turn on another light. Hold on one second. I think this says a wonderful journey is ahead. I can see journey is ahead and wonderful. Yeah, I think it's this. That's what this says. But and you betcha. So these are both really positive statements, but they fell outside of the charm box. So I'll incorporate them if I see need to. But I like that they're both really positive. So let's see what's going on here. We have an X. We have an S. We have a T. And we have an M. So it's a total of 8, 9, 10, and 3 is 13, which would be a 4. 4s usually are about stability. This says believe, but it's flipped over, and this is the crown chakra, which is at the top of your head. It's interesting too because you got some sort of like a fair amount of spiritual symbols. You've got the crown chakra. You also have the third eye chakra, the sixth chakra, which is on the clear stone. Both are flipped over, but they're both present. You also have this charm here, which is sort of the auric field charm, with it representing all the chakra beads, right? She's kind of dancing and feeling her joy. And there's the graduation cap was over this, right? This little angel graduation cap. And to me, this always indicates, you know, like graduating, but not necessarily like from school, but maybe like to a different level or a new chapter. Something's maybe ending, but something new is beginning. A period of hard work has come to an end where we've learned what we needed to learn from it, right? And I think that when it's sitting over this like this with the energetic body, right, underneath it, that's charm. To me, that could indicate that like there's maybe been a process that you've been involved in or a part of who a struggle that you've maybe been involved in, that it's finally time to assimilate the knowledge and move on to the next phase or the next step. You also have, this is, who is this? This is a god. I can't think of, who's the one that plays the flute? Oh, shoot. I can't think of his name. He's the one that romanced everybody. Anyways, that's who this is. And he is, what is his name? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. It's not Lakshmi, that's the girl. What is his name? Come on. Shiva? I think it's Shiva. I'm pretty sure it might be Shiva. Wait, no, Shiva is a woman. I can't remember if she was a woman. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on my Indian gods right now. Anyways, this is an Indian god, but he is sort of seated downward, facing downward. A lot of these are kind of face down, but I like that he's also sort of a spiritual figure, right? We have the prayer coin, the dream catcher, and the baby. And to me, the dream catcher and the baby, this also being in the past, sort of feels like maybe there was some sort of idea or something that was born, right? i.e. the baby, a dream maybe that was maybe created. That might be sort of what you're in right now or moving towards. That's sort of what's going on here with the graduation and the adjustment of like sort of the energy field, preparing oneself towards maybe making that happen or having that come towards you. You have the Five of Swords, which is about sort of, Swords rules the intellect, but the Five of Swords is sort of like an argument that maybe we don't necessarily need or want to have happen, but we've inadvertently had, right? Where we've tried to prove our point or win favor or sway somebody to our way of thinking or seeing things, and it doesn't necessarily turn out the way that we want. It doesn't necessarily turn out the way that we thought it would. We can end up sort of feeling lonely or not necessarily getting the response that we want, maybe a little bit on our own. This other coin we have is the tails coin, right? Where it says tails you lose, it says heads you win. This is a coin that my dad used to own. It's like a dirty theater coin of some sort that I used to just think was so naughty, and I kept it forever because it has a picture of a woman's butt on it. But anyways, you have the butt side up. And I wonder, like these two to me, make me think of, I don't know, there's like a little bit of a stubbornness here with these two. It makes me wonder, like I almost want to go to this place of, has there been somebody that you've been fighting with, somebody that maybe has been meddling in your business, somebody that maybe you've been trying to prove yourself to, and you no longer necessarily need to or want to. It's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. When I see this guy underneath here, it's almost like we want him to sort of flip over, and this is who you want to be, or this is who you're about to become, right? Where he's centered, he's in charge, he's kind of at peace. That's the whole seated aspect of him. I also love that we have these deeply spiritual, like 6th and 7th chakra stones here in the reading, which say to me that like these might be chakras that, not to say that they weren't activated before, Heidi, but maybe with this new position at the bookstore, they might be a little bit more stimulated or turned on in the near future, so that you find yourself operating out of them. Sometimes like energy attracts like, and when we're in an environment where there's a place for that to sort of flourish, I think that there could be a very big opportunity for you to sort of grow, quite possibly spiritually, right? It's interesting, you said you were working in a bookstore and this is a graduation cap. You know, like, what do you do when you graduate? Prior to graduation, you have to read a ton of books and do all of that sort of work. Krishna, thank you. Krishna, thank you. My God, I never would have got that. So, so thank you, Vicky. I just saw your note about the tip. Thank you. I appreciate it. So to me, this feels like there could be, I don't know, like, I think that this baby and the dream catcher even the hug token, right? It's almost like built out of compassion and love. To me, these three feel like a period of time in the past, right? Because this is more the past part of the board, but like an idea was born, or a new creative idea, a want or a desire for something different. And it got sort of caught in the dream catcher, in the net. And it's about to be, it was like sort of created in love or created from a place of compassion. And it very well may be kind of where you're at right now. I feel like with these flipped over, plus the believe charm is flipped over, this might be a process where you're in a transition of coming out of some more stuck energy, fighting, things like that. And now you're going to hopefully be able to move forward. And also, even though they asked me this, like, a coin with the woman's bottom is a little bit, it's kind of, no pun intended, but it's kind of cheeky. But to me, not only does this mean like there might have been a period where you were fighting with somebody or showing your ass, so to speak, but I also get the feeling that this is you turning your back on it, right? Like turning away from it, letting it go, stepping away, moving beyond, no longer fighting against it, no longer having to prove your point or make your sort of message work for them. Does that make sense? And I think that this all has to do with like sort of you becoming similar to Krishna, like your own spiritual journey, your own spiritual work. And I think that there's something that's shifting, happening, changing for you that should be quite beautiful. I love the belief charm is here. I just think that you're not quite certain in that belief yet, but that's because the transition or the transformation has yet to fully happen. Does that make sense? And it's about to, is my feeling. That's my feeling. Did you call me? Did you call me? Hold on, sorry guys. Did you call me? No. Shh. Did you call me? Did you just call me? Oh, okay. My phone rang from a San Antonio number, so I thought it might have been you. It's all right. Okay. Sorry, there's some workers outside that are doing some work. So I hope that makes sense. But that's, you guys, it's okay. That was me tapping on the glass. Oh, everybody's a guard dog around here when I tap on some glass. God forbid I have a cocktail. What's going on, guys? It's okay. They've run to the back door. They have no idea that the people are here on this window. It's like dealing with the elderly around here. It's kind of, they mean well. I mean, they're trying to keep their daddy safe, but they have no idea which way they run to. I love, my favorite is when they, when I'm watching TV and the doorbell rings on the TV and they all jump up. They all jump up out of a dead sleep and run bolting for the front door. And I'm like, it's the TV. Everybody calm down. Poor babies. So I hope that makes sense, Heidi. I feel like something, I really like the baby. Let me go back to that camera. I like the baby dream catcher hug token combo and the graduation over the energetic field. I really like those combinations there. I feel like there's something that we are getting ready to leave behind that might serve us in the leaving behindness of it all. All right, let me go back there. Okay. Oh, and then this is a wonderful journey is ahead, right? Which that could very well be sort of what's going on in here too. You're just like the flipped over chakra stones to me feel like maybe the journey is just at the very beginning stages of happening. And this you betcha is very like positive in the sense that it's like, you know, whatever you're doing, it's an affirmative. It's a good thing. It's time to go. It's time to do, make it happen kind of thing. Good. I do too. I like them a lot. Oh shit. It's thundering and lightning. Let me run outside and talk to these workers really quick. I'm sorry, Vicky. I just need to make sure that they're safe out there because thunder just cracked. So they're rushing around here. So I want to make sure that they're, you betcha. Yeah. I come from Norwegians too, Heidi. I'll be right back, you guys. One moment. Oh my God, sorry guys. I just wanted to make sure that they weren't going to try and work in the thunderstorm because all I need is people to be like dead in my backyard. So I am back. One of the workers is really, ladies, one of the workers is really cute. Awkward. Okay, so hi. That was a little sidetrack there. So I know I need to be patient. Wait, so what's going on? Krishna, I like these very much. You betcha is a Norwegian saying, totally. I used to have a crocheted thing from my grandmother's house that said you betcha. Oh no, it didn't say you betcha. They used to say you betcha. It said ufda. UFFDA. Ufda was another Norwegian thing that they used to say. I don't even know what that means, but it was crocheted. It said ufda. It was hanging in the kitchen. Oh, excuse me. All right. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you took a screenshot. Ufda, exactly, Heidi. My family on my grandmother's side comes from Stavanger, I guess. I've never been there. I want to go to Norway at some point, but I would love to go to Norway, actually, or even all of Scandinavia. I'd love to see Denmark and Finland and Sweden too, but I really want to go to Norway. Do I see your message after Krishna? What do you mean? Do I see your message? You mean coming up? Like what's coming up? No, because if you look at how the board is, this would be your future. The future is untold, and you know the reason why. It's a good thing you asked me that. To see how sometimes I find things just as much in the spaces, and right? Remember, Krishna was kind of this way, and believe was upside down. So was the chakra stones, right? They're there, they're present, but they're just not quite there yet. And I feel like there's sort of this graduation that's happening right now where we still have this as a remember, this is the sort of the present moment influence, right? And I know that the clear sixth chakra is in the past, but I kind of feel like this is also because this is your sixth chakra, it's sort of throughout. You carry your chakra with you. It's not like you leave it in the past or in the present kind of thing. So it's still here. I feel like right now, this is maybe what's going on in the present moment, which is this argument, this fight, this debate. This could be with, generally, this is representational of a fight with somebody else, right? But it could be a fight even within yourself, like somewhere where you're trying to prove something to yourself that's no longer, it's just the struggle is real. It's not worth it, right? And so we're, the stubbornness, this is this butt kind of thing. This butt is giving me like, I hear the thing like showing your ass, or being stubborn, putting up a fight, that kind of thing. But it's also, in some ways, it's a good thing because it's also giving me a double meaning of turning our back to something and walking away. And that's some of also the imagery in a Five of Swords card. So I sort of feel like what's happening is there's nothing here yet because these charms have not shifted over yet, right? So like in the period that you're in right now, you're dealing with this present moment. We're trying to get Krishna to me is you, right? In this reading, this is sort of you and where you're at. We want to get you to this place of being centered. Remember, this is a number 4, which represents that sort of stability. And so we want to get you to that centeredness again, get you back on your center, get you into your chakras, using your 6th and your 7th, which to me, that would all be about working in this bookstore. It's funny that you said that earlier because that would definitely stimulate these chakras just because you're going to be around people that are going to be operating from those more metaphysical centers of perspective, right? So you're going to naturally match their energy, even in the simple act of selling them books. The discussions you're going to have, the interactions you're going to have, the explorations or the friendships you might make. And also with this graduation too, I want to see this kind of go like that. And I feel like that's what we're sort of waiting for that to happen as we're graduating, as we're assimilating the knowledge. That sort of triggers off the chakras, puts him upright, and then we move into the future. But right now, to me, the future is like to be determined. It's not really quite shown itself yet because you're not quite done with the progression of the now. Does that make sense? And that's not a bad thing. It just sort of says like, right now we're finishing up whatever this is, this struggle, this argument, this fight, and we're pushing it, not pushing it to the side, but we're moving sort of away from it. And so that's what's going on. That's how I see it, at least. And so the future to me being open and empty like this is actually a good thing because it kind of gives me this vibe of pretty much anything is possible. Hey, Bridget, how are you, dear? All right, so Vicky, are you ready? I'm gonna clear this off. Miss Vicky! And give me a topic, Miss Vicky. You're very welcome, Heidi. Thank you. General energies, please. Okay. Okay, so we have, I'm going to pull this out from under here. Krishna's back. Interesting. So we have a theme with Krishna tonight. We also see the seventh chakra again. So we have a is or sí, which could be a yes, could be an affirmative in Spanish. I do not know why, but I feel like this is some sort of a constellation, Vicky. And I think it's because of, like, we have Gemini here, we have Cancer here. I believe, what is this symbol? Is this the symbol for, is this Mars? I think this is the symbol for Mars. Just also the way everything is sort of spaced. And then like the single red die, the two here, it makes me feel like it's like a constellation of some sort. I don't know why. This says data error, retry. This says everything is okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. This is, I can't even read these anymore. They're so scraped off. When you're grateful for what you have, more will come into your life. I'm going to start taking these out of the box because they're just too much of a struggle to read. But we'll leave this into the reading for now. All right. So let me just look at this. And this is the Emperor. Interesting, which would be Aries energy in the future. So I kind of feel like this, I don't know why I keep wanting to tie this to the stars. Like why, like something in my gut tells me, hold on one second. You guys, what are you doing? There's a lot of growling. Hey, leave the puppy alone. No, don't out the puppy like that. You guys gotta be careful with him. He's much smaller than you. All right, sorry. I feel like there's something weird about this being like also representational of a pattern of stars, these charms. I don't know why, but I'm just going to go with that. I feel like this is you, Vicky. I feel like this is you now, as if this charm would be here, but it's also you sort of looking to the future, right? I feel like this emperor is sort of like a bit of an adversary. I feel like you don't maybe know him yet, or you don't, or he hasn't become the adversary that he needs to be just yet. We don't see him on the, he's like on the horizon. That's why it's flipped over. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's somebody that you maybe work with, or that, to me, I feel like there's a butting of heads between these two. This being you and this being somebody that thinks they're your equal or thinks that they deserve to be treated a certain way. And I don't necessarily know that, it doesn't feel like, I don't think that they're on your level, so to speak. They think that they are, but they may not be. So we have Cancerian energy, and then this is the thing too, with the Gemini charm and the Cancer charm flipped upside down. To me, I feel like these are energies that are working in the background. That's why this feels kind of maybe star-like or constellation, astrological in a weird way, because things feel like they're happening in the background. Mars is the planet of war. Let me just double check and make sure that's the symbol for Mars. I believe it is. I just want to make sure. Let me see here. Symbol for Mars. I'm pretty sure that's Mars because it's yeah, that is Mars because it's like it's his arrow, like he's the god of war. So what I'm feeling like in the past, right, is this data error retry down here. Something wasn't working right. Something wasn't right in your subconscious or like the way you were looking at things. Hold on, I gotta go kill these dogs. You guys, I'm working. I can't have you eating the puppy right now. I can't have all of this roughhousing going on. It's too much noise, and I'm nervous that you're gonna hurt one another. So stop it. All right. So this to me feels like this was in the past, and somehow these like positive phrases to me feel like you kind of got beyond that, or you maybe rewired your thinking, rewired your situation. That's sort of the also the positivity of this. I feel like this, even if this is C, like Mexican yes, to me, somehow you rewired, but at the time, I feel like maybe you weren't able to trust what you knew to be true. You might have went with what they thought or what they needed. And you didn't listen maybe to your knowing, what you knew to be true. That's sort of why it's flipped over. Then we get into the now, and we've got this red singular dice in the center, right? We've got Mars down in the subliminal or the subconscious, right? But we've got this singular die, and I really feel like this is you. But I feel like this singular die on red, sometimes red can represent like, anger. But to me, this feels like maybe love or putting yourself first, taking care of yourself. And I also like how these two are close together. There's like a connection between these two. Like the focus might be about Vicky comes first right now. Self-care, love, making sure that you're taken care of, if that makes any sense. This person, I don't know why this feels adversarial to me, but this person, and then we also have the two we have a two here and we have the two here in the dice. There is some sort of maybe a relationship that's bumping heads. We also have the two twins in the Gemini influence, right? To me, this is more going forward. This might be about you holding a sort of a spiritual center, trying to remain calm and grounded while you're dealing with somebody that might be very demanding, in need from you. There might be somebody that you have sort of had to nurture or take care of in some way, shape, or form. But there's this sort of, and I still keep going back to this weird thing about planetary influences between you and whoever this person is. I do think that this person is male, especially with it being the emperor, but also Krishna again being there. It's a very sort of a male ish feel, and Mars energy is very male. Even the dice feel very sort of male to me. I don't feel like this maybe is a romantic relationship. I feel like this might be a power struggle amongst like a coworker, a boss, something to that effect. And I don't even feel like it's so much your struggle as much as it's their struggle with you trying to maybe get you to do what they need. And like I feel like with this singular dice here and Krishna, it's like, nope, I'm not doing it. And it's not from a place of spite. It's more from a place of love, right? Where it's more like, I won't go there. It's not worth it to me. And so that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from this here, from these two charms in particular. It's like, I don't want to like maybe have the same dance that we've maybe had, or I've had with others, maybe say in the past. There's been times in the past where you maybe didn't listen to your knowing. This knowing, this seven chakra knowing is all about like sort of Krishna's connection to his spirit, right? So now we own that, or we know that, or we have that. We're not trading that in for nothing. It's kind of the feeling that I get. And we'd be willing to sort of fight for it if we had to. Mars is that sort of, Mars can be about like fighting, or, but Mars can also be about like holding one's ground, debate, holding one's space and one's truth. Do you know what I mean? And so it doesn't have to be like a negative. It can be about being assertive for our own space, our own, what we know to be right. And doing it from a quite compassionate, Cancerian energy too can be quite compassionate, but Krishna would also be quite compassionate. And so to me, it's like not wanting to argue with them. And it's funny because the Emperor isn't necessarily always, it's not really a bad card, but he can be a demanding sort of requirement. Like he can come with a demanding requirement, an expectation you have to meet, a level you have to rise to. And Krishna to me is beyond his level even, right? But he may not understand that, if that makes sense. I don't know why, but that Emperor charm's giving me like petulant little boy energy, like almost demanding, like you know, when a kid can't have a toy and he's like pissed off, it feels like that. And then we have, you know, Cancer's sort of very much mothering energy too. So it's like in this Krishna energy, it's like we placate him, or we don't engage with him in the way that we maybe used to. That's sort of the feeling that I'm getting there. And ultimately, I think that that's a good thing. It's a good change. Hold on one second. Now they're being too quiet. Jesus. What are you guys doing? Are you guys doing good? Okay, just be good. So I hope that makes sense. And I also still, like, even when I'm looking at it on my computer screen, to me, it looks like a constellation of stars, all of these charms. Like they almost feel like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this, maybe this relationship or whatever it is that you're dealing with is somewhat karmic in a way. If it may feel that way to you. Hi, Paul Seraphin. So just keep that in mind, that there might be something. I mean, I have no worries for you, especially with that singular red die and the Krishna representing as you to me. Even Mars feels to me, the energy of the Mars die down below feels very, you know, willing to take action when need to, willing to protect oneself when need be, you know. So I feel like you're safe. It's not like there's any stress or worry. It's more like, if anything, I feel like it's the emperor that's going to be more throwing a tantrum of some sort in the future to come or something. And are you wanting to put up with that again? I love this reading and I claim it. Awesome, Vicky. Thank you. It's interesting too how we have a black die down here and a black die up here. Like this might be somebody that you had issue with in the past and it's coming back up again, if that makes sense. Hey, Steve and Davidson Olson, how are you? So that's sort of interesting to me too, that little kind of parallel where we have one down in the subconscious in the past and one in the sort of superconscious in the, leading towards the future. Also, the ties of Gemini there next to the two, that's also giving me this weird sort of cosmic-y link feel between you and this person, although they may not be like some sort of romantic something or other to you. They might be somebody that is sort of linked to you or part of your spirit family, maybe brought here to bring you a lesson, brought here, you know, connected to you through this relationship to somehow teach you something, and you them, right? Because we have Shiva here, which would be like a great teacher, great spiritual teacher, and the Emperor too would be a teacher in a way, right? They would both be in these sort of rules of authority, although the Emperor to me feels a little bit more I don't know why, temper tantrumy, and that's not necessarily an Emperor trait, but when I look at this, it feels like they might, I don't know, put up demands or something silly like that. Hey, Ashley, how are you, dear? Yes, your joy is important to keep. Exactly. Exactly, exactly. See, exactly. Or it could be is. I was thinking of that too. It could be is, right? But and both are kind of, you know, is similar to like in a way like I am, because when something is something, you know, you're putting a label to it or making it so. C is also very much affirmative in the sense that it's like yes. So both are sort of affirmative in a way. And both, you know, so I just was thinking about that play on words. All right, I'm gonna clear the board. I think I'm gonna wrap up for now, guys. It's been about an hour, and I need to probably get a few things done before I need to get in the shower. Thank you to everybody that tuned in, for Heidi and Vicky for buying Charmings. I really appreciate it. I've got, I don't even know like this weather now. Now I'm like, oh, maybe I'll stay home. I shouldn't. I should go. I haven't been out of the house. Thank you, Bridget. I haven't been out of the house in like a long time. It's weird. I don't feel like, I mean, I went to Mexico. What am I talking about? I haven't been out of the house in a long time. But I went to Mexico and it was stressful. Like the whole time I was down there, flying down there was really surreal. Because like being in an airport, I usually love to travel. It's been over 2 years since I've been on a plane. And it was awkward. Like I was in the airport, everybody's masked up, which is normal, you would think, right? And they've got all of these signs going on in the airport, but the airports felt packed to me. They felt like there was like way more people than I was expecting. You know, you think about social distancing and all these things that they're teaching, and then I get on the plane, and the plane is not socially distanced whatsoever. And then they tell us that it's a mask mandate on the plane that's federal, that you have to wear your mask at all times on the plane, except when you're sipping your drink or chewing your little nosh, because like, you know, God forbid we should have to give up our pretzels on the flight, right? It's like, it makes no fucking sense. Excuse my language. And then that was weird. And then also just being in the airport, they're so packed. It's like, and then I went to go buy a cup of coffee because I had gotten up really early and, traveling all day. And I was worried about like, where do I go to sip my coffee? Like, so I'm all in the corner, like with my mask, hanging from one ear, like sipping my coffee. It's just weird. It's a new world out there in some regards. And it brought up a lot of like, I'm an anxious person to begin with, I guess. And so it brought up a lot more anxiety in me that I just wasn't expecting, and it was very sort of not pleasant. And then when I got to Mexico, I was sort of the whole time I was really worried about. I didn't want to catch, not that I'm going to catch COVID, right? I've been vaccinated, and I know that that's not doesn't mean you can't catch it, but I was very worried about, oh my God, what if I am like not careful enough and I get COVID and I get stuck down here for 2 weeks? Like that really worried me the whole time I was down there, even though I was only down there for like 2 days. I was really worried about like very careful about where I went, what I touched, washing my hands, all of that sort of stuff, because I didn't want to potentially catch it and then end up getting to the airport, because you have to do a clean test to get back on the plane to come back into the United States. And so that was like sort of anxiety inducing, where I was like, okay, I can't really relax until I'm back on the plane, which is uncomfortable and anxiety inducing. But once I'm safely back on the plane and headed back to the US, and I know that I'm going to get back to my dogs, only then will I feel sort of settled in. And does that make sense? So the whole time I was down there, I was just worried about catching COVID and not being able to come home. It was a mess. Needless to say, I was quite relieved when I got home, but maybe that's why I had such a bad bout of diarrhea 48 hours later. It probably had nothing to do with the food and just my nerves. Oh my God. I hope someday we get back to normal. I hope someday that we are able to I don't know. It was weird. And then it's like, want to think like, well, am I ever going to travel again? Because I like traveling. I like seeing the world and going to different cultures, but it just felt really like I was on the plane, like, and then I was like, is this mask enough? And I was like, the people are right next to you. You're like, oh my God, and I just didn't know how to be. It's so weird. I'm such a shut-in. Like today I had the groceries delivered, which was such a decadent thing, but I just was like, I need to get groceries in before the week starts. And so I ordered them last night and they arrived today. And it's decadent, but it's wonderful when your groceries just like sort of show up at the doorstep. I was like, wow, whoever thought of this is genius. But yeah, so that was that. But I don't find myself leaving the house very often. And I find myself becoming quite okay with that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And I haven't driven a car in a long time. I need to get a car. That way I'll get out more. I did go down to PV, Stephen. I was down there during all that crazy rain when that car washed up. That was the other thing. I was down there for only like 2.5 days, not very long. It was like a quick in, quick out. And I was down there and like crazy shit went on while I was down there. Nothing happened to me, obviously. I mean, I did get soaked in the rain a couple of times, which that was something that reminded me like, oh, I don't miss this at all. I do love the rainy season down there if you have somewhere to be, safe to stay in from the rain. And I had somewhere to be, like a place to stay, but I got caught in the rain a couple of times trying to get done what I needed to get done while I was down there. And I got soaked to the bone. And I only brought one pair of shoes, these Van slip-ons, and they were like, just soaking wet, squish, 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 squish the whole time I was down there. But there was there was some sort of weird crocodile somewhere in the news that was wandering around the streets of I don't know, Versailles or something. And then there was a parasailer that got her parasail rope snapped she was out there parasailing before one of the big storms came in, and her thing snapped from the boat and she went flying back out over the beach and landed in Versailles, which is a neighborhood not near the beach, let's just say that. And she landed in a bunch of trees and telephone wires. but she was safe. And then what was the other thing? Oh, there was a big rainstorm and a car washed off of a street down onto the beach. Like this was all the stuff that I was dealing with when I lived down there. It was just like sort of Mexico has this chaotic energy to it where it's like anything goes at any point in time. You never know what's coming. And it's just sort of like, okay, one day you could be leaving your house and see a homeless man washing a double-headed dildo in the little stream by your house. You never know what you're going to see in Vallarta. It's like bizarre. And so I was down there during all of that. And then when I got home, the mountainside, they were building on some mountainside on the beach, and the whole mountainside just came down. Like I was like, my God, Vallarta's like just like having a moment. It's like, Jesus, Vallarta, get it together. But all of that was also reaffirmation as to why, like, I need a little bit more calm. I'm an old lady. I need a little bit more calm in my life. I can't have crocodiles wandering past parasailers hanging from, power lines while cars are being washed out to the beach. Like, no, I'm just not me. As much as the massages are cheap and lovely, no. I'll go there on vacation, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think I could live there full time. I tried it for over a year and it was it's just chaos. So, and that all happened. Hey, Jen DiFiore, how are you? It just happened like all in a matter of days. Like literally I was there like 2.5 days and all of these things were happening all at once. Like just crazy, weird Vallarta shit. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't miss any of that. And that's low season, right? That's not even during the high season, tourist season. Hey, Terry, how are you? So yeah, so I was glad to have gone down, and I did kind of miss it once I got down there. I was like, oh, I kind of miss it, but to be honest, I love my dogs more, and I know that I would not want to live back down there with my dogs. I was always nervous with my dogs down there. I'm anxious anyways. I have a lot of anxiety just about stuff in general, and then with my dogs being down there in such a sort of like different culture, and it was just a lot to navigate. So I could probably live down there if I did it differently when I'm older and I'm more retired and I don't have 4 babies that I love dearly that I'm, have to sort of look out for their well-being. If it was just me, I would be more relaxed. I think like the little guy that I've got, my littlest dog now, like when the others all sort of go over the Rainbow Bridge and do their thing, he's tiny and compact. I could go to like Mexico with him and live and retire. And he's like somebody, at least I could pick him up and take him down the street. These other guys, like Gus is 72 pounds. Like I ain't taking Gus anywhere if Gus doesn't want to go. Like, unless I have a piece of ham, Gus ain't moving. Like, forget it. So, yeah. So I don't think Vallarta's for me right now. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I'm good, Jen. I'm just about to sign off, guys, because I have somewhere I have to be tonight. But I got on early. So yeah. So that was last week in a nutshell. And then I came home and I just had like, I don't know if it was Montezuma's revenge or if I got myself sick. It was bad. There was one point where I was like my body got so hot, like it was crazy. Like I was sweating and I was going to the restroom and I was on the toilet and I was like, I felt like I was going to pass out. Like it was really crazy. I've never had that happen before. Maybe I've never felt like I was going to pass out or like with the whole full body sweats. That was kind of scary. And I didn't know if it was like food poisoning or because I didn't eat anywhere sketchy. I didn't do any taco trucks or anything that would have been, because I didn't want that to happen. And then I got home and I was good for a whole day, but I did make sandwiches here from some kale spinach mix that was in my fridge that was probably like a little bit too old, but I put it on turkey sandwiches and ate one for lunch while at work. And then I made one for dinner. And I'm not so sure that didn't give me the runs. I don't know. But my whole like no pun intended, the ass dropped out of everything. I could not get on. That was all last Sunday. And then that lasted for like a good like 3 or 4 days. Couldn't leave the house. Like it's no joke. This is the life of an old man. I'm getting older. I might need Depends. I don't know. I hope not. I can't help it. I just have to deal with life as it comes. You too, Jen. You have a great night too. All right, so I'm gonna go sign off because I'm gonna go. Actually, I was watching the Forever Purge, which is this really ultra violent movie, but it was for rent on Amazon before, like as it's in theaters. So I want to finish that and then get in the shower. So I'm ready by 7. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for the purchase of Charming. I'll be here next Sunday. If you want a private reading, you can always email me at the business page or direct message me if you are connected to me via Facebook. You too, Stephen. You have a great week too. Check out the daily forecast. It should be an interesting week. It ends this week in the daily forecast with the death card, which can be highly transformative for everyone in some way, shape, or form. Doesn't always have to be painful or sad, but it can mean that. But it is usually significant change, so and inevitable change. So be prepared for that. If you want to see that reading, it could be interesting. It's a collective reading, so if you all experience some big change at the end of the week, don't be surprised. So it depends, exactly. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I will talk to you later, and thank you so much for tuning in. All right, take care. Bye-bye.